pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The very monotone. Baritone.
First item is the approval of the agenda.
Make a motion, we approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Well, we just didn't have the concerns put behind the select board, like I asked them.
You were supposed to get a note on that one.
Oh,
You were supposed to get a note
Okay.
that the person who did it apologized, that
okay.
she was notified, and she had it all done, and she was gonna send you a note.
Okay.
That it would be on there next time.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay,
I didn't see the note, but that's okay.
right, okay.
What's with your packet?
Good one, Mike.
Any other discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is approved. Minutes, 1/13/2020 and 1/21 special meeting.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes for January 13th and January 21st as presented.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yep.
Yep. Who's first?
Page 4, paragraph 1 on 13. First paragraph, the last sentence got cut off. It was determined that if the tractor, and then it stops there.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that was supposed to read, but,
Okay. Anything else, Zach?
nope, that's it.
Joe?
Page 2, the first line, after the word "made," we probably should have "at."
Okay.
Page 2, first line. Joe, was that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anything else, Joe?
Yes, related to the second set of minutes, I think that meeting was held on a Tuesday,
Yes.
January 21st,
Good catch.
and I was not present.
Didn't that indicate that absent? Joseph Mark, Select Board Parliamentarian?
Oh, just, it says Monday on the
Yeah,
top.
Oh, it says Monday?
I was,
Yeah.
it says Monday,
Okay.
but it says that I was both present and absent. Now, I can do a
That's
lot
tough.
of things, but
That's a tough one. Okay.
I didn't catch that one either, yeah.
that's it for me.
So that was Tuesday, Eliza? Okay.
Well, it was at 6:32 and not 7. I don't know.
Yep.
It's gonna get technical there, so.
Yep, 6:30 instead of 7. Is that it for you, Joe?
Yes, it is.
Bob?
Yeah.
Dick?
I'm good.
Okay. Then, we have motion for approval with the corrections. We have it, we have the motion,
Yeah,
so we'll do it with the corrections,
so moved.
okay? For a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. So we're approving it with corrections. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Opposed? Citizens' comments. Lieutenant Finnegan, do you have a comment?
I have a question,
You have a question?
yes. Once again, there's a petition going around that I signed about changing our solid waste district.
Mhm.
And my question to the board is, if we've been down this road before, I think we voted on this the last 2 years in a row, and it seems as though the only benefit that's gonna come from this is to the trash haulers, why are we doing it again?
Because
And I
it's,
just want information, that's what.
because it's
everybody-
required by state law. If we receive a petition, or the clerk receives a petition with 5% of the registered voters,
Right,
and it deals with money,
right,
we are required to put it on the ballot.
right,
So we received 2 of those.
yeah.
One was to withdraw from the solid waste district. The other was to exempt the Grange from property taxes.
Yeah.
And we met quickly on it and approved putting it on the ballot.
And just clarification, Mike, it doesn't benefit just the haulers.
It doesn't.
The haulers are required to collect that. It's better known as a trash tax. You can call it surcharge and call it what you want. It's a trash tax. Doesn't matter where you take it. If you take it to the transfer station, private hauler picks it up, you take it to Rutland,
Right.
you pay that surcharge, the trash tax, through your tipping fees. So it doesn't benefit just the hauler. The hauler collects it, and he has to pay it to the solid waste district.
Well, it was my understanding from the numbers we got the last 2 years that this would cost the town additional fees to pay to SWAC as opposed to for a flat rate per person, was that correct?
That's correct.
Versus a tonnage fee from Rutland County Solid Waste.
Okay,
That's also not correct.
That's not correct.
No,
That is
it's
okay.
not.
Do you have another question, Mike?
I don't.
That's
I
it?
don't.
Okay. In relation to that, I would hope that either now or under select board comments or concerns, the board would consider having Mike do another analysis with up-to-date figures from SWAC and from the Rutland County Solid Waste District and report back to the board in a subsequent meeting on your findings. So get the information from SWAC, the lady does she still represent SWAC?
She does.
I
Okay,
sent her a message today asking her.
okay,
what's your
get the
question?
information from her, any changes, up-to-date information, same from Rutland County Solid Waste District.
Don't we have the numbers from the district?
We have it in our budget. The district usually does a roll-up to us, and so we can compare the two, what we are tracking and what they report to us are the same. Because there was a discrepancy at one
There
point,
was.
so I want to make sure that it's accurate.
Okay. Could I possibly get a motion to instruct the manager to do that?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
Just one thing, can we have it done for the first meeting in February?
That's what I was thinking.
As I will not be here in the second meeting in February.
Okay. That's what, when is it, Mike? The
10th.
10th?
Is that
Can
achievable,
you
Mike?
think you can is that workable to get that done by the 10th?
It's workable if they return my request for information.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That's fair enough, sure. Okay.
I wish you luck, because we've been trying for 3 years, Mike, to get the numbers from the Rutland County Solid Waste District.
Yeah.
And they've yet to provide them.
And I talked to Mark Shea today, he's over there now, and I told him that this is probably gonna come to fruition, that we're gonna have to do it again, and to please start pulling information together. And I sent him a list, the same stuff I sent to SWAC.
Okay, are we ready? Did we vote on that?
No.
We
Okay,
should.
I'll call a vote. All those in favor of instructing the manager to get up-to-date information?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Can I just, if we're still on citizens' concern, I just want the record to show.
Yes, Lieutenant.
I'm not necessarily against this. Like most people, we all want what's best for the town.
Okay.
And so let's get accurate numbers, and so we can all make a good decision on to support this or not.
Okay, thank you. We move on to the police. Yes?
Sorry, if we're gonna go through all this gyration to make sure we get correct numbers and stuff, is there going to be a public hearing to be able to present this information once the board has had a chance to look at it? So that if it's on the ballot, I think that the voters should be able to have some, besides town meeting, because not everybody goes to the town meeting,
Right.
to have a discussion about this before it goes to the vote.
Yeah, I think there should be.
Sounds like a good suggestion. You want to wait till the 10th and see what you come up with, and then if the board wants to
what
schedule
you
it, which
guys wanna
seems
do, that's what we'll
logical, we'll do it. Okay? Lieutenant left.
No, duty calls.
You're back?
Duty calls, children, come get me. One left, one child left without a driver's license.
Oh, nothing serious.
No,
Okay. Okay, Chief, ready for your report, I guess?
Yep, okay. You all got a copy of it with the added page on the revenue piece. Nothing really stands out. We had more service calls. We had more property watches, that's why. I mean, 85 more from the last month. I don't know why, but it seems like more people were gone in December, maybe because of holidays, stuff like that. And when we check those in a month, so you may check them 2 or 3 times a week, so that's where those numbers look big. So that's like for maybe for one resident, you're checking 2 or 3 times a week. That's why they go up so much. Because it's a 30-day period. We've had, let's see, look at the criminal arrests, up 4. Nothing really stands out. Traffic violations, as you can see. Justin, we were talking about putting a little bit more information, just to help you really, understand how many, out of those tickets, how many of them were warnings. As you can see on that page, we've kind of added that in there.
So does that mean, Chief, that out of the 161 tickets, 29 were warnings?
No.
Or there was an additional 29
Yeah,
warnings?
the 29 warnings would be additional warning tickets. They're not
Okay.
actual tickets themselves.
All right.
They're forms that we get made that we give to people. But we hadn't been putting them on here, warnings at all. So he decided to do that. And you got the addendum on the revenue piece on the December. That was the only thing that was missing before it came in. And then the total. Calls of service at Castleton, December. Actually, I'm surprised there was even 7 actually, but it had to have been the first part of the month because there was nothing after that, after they were on break. Backups provided, they're still maintaining that. So, that figure down there, you asked me, Joe, last time?
Yes.
You see what that is?
I do.
So it's for a 6-month period. That's what we provided total for assistance to Fairhaven, 110.
Thank you for that. I think the piece of data that would make it especially helpful is if you had the 6-month total for Fairhaven's support of us,
Okay, yep.
so we can see what the net is.
Chief, can you touch on again
Sure.
what the property watch is? It says residential behind it, just,
Yep, you mean, property watch could also be business.
okay. It just has,
So normally, and I know that Joe's family, they're very consistent. They always call us. They're probably gone, I don't know, you guys are always gone at least once a month. Usually, a
I
couple
wish.
days, 2 or 3 days, I don't know, it just seems that way. But there's several families that constantly, the Grazianos, Patty, she's gone, so we check her house all winter, time she gets back, so. I'm thinking why it was up in December was because the people were away for the holidays. Because sometimes people have gone for 2 or 3 days, they want us to check it, sometimes they're gone for a week. So if it's a week long, we usually check the house 2 or 3 times a week. Not every day, but 2 or 3 times.
so what do you do to check a house? I mean, you physically go and see if the heat's on and all that, I mean?
No, we just basically look for if there's any entry
Drive by.
breaks or anything like that. And it's
Tracks in
great-
the snow or?
Great in the winter if we see tracks around the snow.
Sure.
We don't walk around the complete house.
Okay,
Unless in the summertime because you can't, if there's no snow, then you're not gonna see anything.
sure.
Yeah, when you guys checked mine, and I was glad to see it, by the way, when you guys checked mine when we were gone, your officer got out of the car and went over and checked the garage to make sure that it hadn't been broke into, and it's pretty much okay with that. I
Yeah, you're in a
appreciate
pretty
it.
isolated spot, and I know you got a lot of equipment in there, so.
No, I
was on the
appreciate
Select
that.
board, and I told you better get out of the car.
No, well, hopefully you give everybody that kind of treatment.
Well,
but
no,
I
we do.
wanted you to know it was appreciated.
And we also got some more stuff here. If you go to the last page, we got the towed vehicle report. I did get a request from Mr. Bruno, because he hadn't been at the, I don't know, you don't post this on the website here.
Your stuff?
Yeah. So he asked for copies of the last 3 months, so I sent it to him through email. I don't know if he contacted any one of you all.
I have not heard from
Just
him.
let them know, even though they, well, there's a lot going on there, I'll just leave it at that. So, he did request that, so I haven't heard back from him. And as you can see, with those snowstorms, that's what these are all related to. And one of the things is, the dispatch took him off the rotation, so he's not gonna. be listed on there until his case is.
Let me ask you two questions, Chief. First off, that wasn't our decision anyways, that he comes off the rotation,
Oh,
right?
no, nothing to do with
Has
us.
nothing to do with Castleton Police or anything?
Absolutely not.
Okay, second question, this rotation, the dispatch doesn't really care within reason what town it's in. I mean, by that I mean, if there's a tow job in Fairhaven or one in Castleton, whoever's next on the list, they don't go by town, they just go by geographic area, right?
Correct.
So the fact that Bruno's hasn't come up in November is purely coincidental. It doesn't mean they didn't get a tow job in,
No,
In
no.
Fairhaven
and listen,
or
So
Hubbard.
usually, my policy indicates that we always check with the operator first, or the owner of the vehicle. Is there somebody you want? If they don't want anybody, and they're not on AAA, we go to the rotation.
right?
Now, AAA, if they've already made contact in AAA, we're just at the mercy of waiting from here going to Maine to dispatch, it takes a lot longer. But we know who all the AAA people are. And so we have seen a lot more requests than rotation. The last page, does that answer your question, Dick?
It does, thank you.
The last page, we just kind of put some things in here that, I don't know if you've ever known that Justin does this, actually. He's been doing it since I've been here. He kind of coordinates a stuff the cruiser for Castleton Cares. He makes contact with vendors or the businesses, see if they want to donate, and it was, we filled 3 police cars. And we had our whole room back there stuffed with the stuff, so he brought it back down to the food shelf before Christmas, so that, he's been doing that, and that's been great that he's been doing it, because there's a lot of organizations that do that throughout the county. And for the grant stuff, we kind of keep track of that, because that's a huge enforcement piece that we do. So he puts down, we kind of want to get more detail on it from December 13th to January 1st. Talks about all those additional patrol hours, which are all funded by the grant. So then none of that is taken out of my line items. So anything here's an example, like, so if you make an arrest on grant time, doing the paperwork, even going to court, that's all billed toward that grant. Like if you got a DWI, let's say DWI took you 4 hours to process. So you charge the patrol the 4 hours, but then the paperwork is additional. And then if you have to go to court, let's say 2 weeks down the road, that gets billed to the grant. So I think that's actually an awesome thing. And that's what they look for. That's what they look for. And our total, as you can see for that period, is we get up to like $8,000 just on the grant stuff. And it's funny, we were just talking about this the other day. I didn't have one fatal accident last year.
Nice to read.
It's a good thing, yeah.
So,
We're okay with that too, Chief.
oh, I'm very okay with that. Very okay with that. And just kind of breaking down the calls for service. We're seeing an increase, as you can see, going up each year.
How much of that are first response med calls?
I don't know the breakdown. I'd have to look back in my annual report and look and see how that, I could probably break it down on percentages. But we're seeing also a lot of the service calls we've been getting to are fingerprints. Huge. We went way up this year doing fingerprints for people. And we charge $20, which is pretty inexpensive. But because of that, because we have the Morpho machine, it's an inkless, it's awesome. People call us all the time. We just did 2 today. Try to schedule Monday and Tuesday.
What is it they need those for? The passports, basically, or?
Could be passports, could be firearms permits for out of state, for FLL licenses. Most of them are for educational jobs, daycares, bus drivers.
Oh, okay.
Anybody working in the schools, basically anybody. It's a requirement by state law that they have to do that. Well, I just think over the years, because of what we provided and the visibility of things that we do, I just think the people are calling us more, to tell you the truth. I think that's what it comes down to.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. Any questions?
Any questions, gentlemen?
Any explanation as to, and it hasn't been excessive, but I go back and forth to Rutland probably more times than all you guys put together. I've seen our vehicle up there 3 out of 4 times sitting at the rest areas, and we didn't have that before. Just, is that
That's
because of
grant.
this?
That's grant time.
Okay.
So
It falls under
whenever
this
you
here?
see, and that's my policy, so whenever you see anybody up there doing radar,
Yep.
that's on grant.
Okay.
Because of the fact that we have an interstate that runs through our town, that they're more apt to give us more funds because of that. Now, it's better for us to enforce on our roads per se, because most of the revenue goes back to the town. On the interstate, it doesn't always, there's a percentage that we don't get up there. We still get it, but not as much as if I rode it on Route 30 or 4A or wherever. But we do it for the grant too. I mean, it's a piece. They see that. See, they see that when we send a report into them, they're like, okay, you're enforcing everything on Route 30, but we've got, I-4 there. So we try to put hours on there.
Any other
Usually
questions?
Friday nights, you'll see us up there because of the traffic coming from New York going to Killington.
It's a really busy road on Friday nights.
Oh,
I had one other complaint from a taxpayer who lives on Creek Road. She says she's got an empty lot next to her house, and she says she'd asked for us to have a police cruiser there, just run
did
radar.
she talk to me or talk to?
I don't know if she's actually called.
Have her
She's,
call me or have her
just-
call us.
just
and
call you
say,
direct.
We'll do it, because you're right, there's
Okay.
some people don't want us in the driveways.
yeah,
So we kind of only sit where people want us to sit.
yeah. This is an empty lot, and the house is not there, so you can back right in there.
Yeah. No, but have her, if you know her, have her contact us.
Sure,
Let
sure.
her know where it is.
Okay, will do.
We can schedule it.
Okay.
Any other questions for the chief? Thank you very much, chief.
Right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay, next item is liquor license approval. Second-class license for Beverage King, third-class license Iron Lantern, second-class license Shan Petroleum Inc. And I asked the chief before the meeting if there were any problems on any of these, and he said no, he reviewed all of them. You want to do them as a group or individual?
We'll do them one at a time.
We can do them, but I'd like to ask one more question of Chief on these particular.
Yes.
Can you explain for the audience what first-class liquor license is, second-class and third-class, what the difference is with you?
Now you're really testing.
Well, I just,
So, first class would be beer, wine, and serving alcohol. Second class would be not serving, but alcohol, any types of alcohol. Third class would be just like beer.
Well, it says it right up on the top of the
Vineyards.
licenses. Third class is a restaurant bar license
Okay,
to
so I got it
sell.
opposite. It goes
Right.
from, you're right. So
Yeah.
third would be the top, but you're right.
Yeah.
First would be the lowest.
first is on the bottom and third is to the top. So third, you can
Yeah.
sell beer, wine.
And it's a restaurant and serve it.
Okay,
Those are your restaurant and your bars.
it may be on the top of the liquor license, Zach, but they don't see that
No, they don't.
on the camp.
No,
I'm
they
just
don't.
trying to
No, it's good.
just state it so that people know.
Okay, any other questions for the chief before we do these? Okay, the first one that I have is Beverage King, Market and Deli. Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, motion second, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The second one is the Iron Lantern, third-class license. You get a motion on that?
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, any discussion of that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the third one is Shan Petroleum, Inc. Get a motion on that?
Make a motion we approve the second-class license to sell malt and finest beverages to Shan Petroleum Inc.
A second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, you're all approved. Now we have to sign them.
Page 2, Bob.
Did you hand me that?
I did not, that's your agenda.
No, it's not. Mine's
Oh, it's
right
my
here.
agenda.
You did hand it to me. And you handed me this
Not on
too.
purpose.
That
That
you might,
goes with that one.
oh, goes with that?
Yes.
Okay.
I won't pretend to understand why
Okay.
they're not always the same.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to recuse myself from the next item.
Okay.
Sneak behind you, Joe.
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Gonna get in trouble. These are in here. Gonna have to sign these again.
The ones
Okay.
we're supposed to
Oh, we signed
sign?
the copies?
Yeah.
Good practice.
Okay.
Sneak behind you, Joe. Well, that was a
Come on
while.
back, Dick.
I'm here. I'll try not to give Bob any extra stuff this time.
Yeah.
Smack him hard, Dick.
He got what he deserved just there.
There you go.
Hey, these got the little tabs on them.
There we go.
There's that one. That one's with it. Otherwise, we'd be in trouble.
Now I'll go sit over here.
Okay, the next item is approval of the fire department officers. The chief was in at the last meeting, indicated there were no changes. Chief Heath Goyette, First Assistant Chief Dan Ducharme, Second Assistant Chief Richard Combs, Captain John Alexander, and of course, the lieutenant was here tonight, Michael Finnegan.
I'll make a motion to approve the fire department officers as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Notice that Dick recused himself. Okay, the next thing is Vermont Rural Fire Protection Program, formerly Dry Hydrant Grant Program. Mike, you want to comment on that?
Yes, please. So this program, the town has taken advantage of it in the past. If you didn't know, there's a dry hydrant at Green Dump for the west side of the lake. And there's one in the Ira side over on Route 4A, just across the line at the Castleton River, which we have access to for that side of town. In the past, the town was going to require a developer to put in a dry hydrant at Prospect Point. That fell through. The funding fell through for his support investors, and the permit ran out. So when I first got here, I was told, hey, this guy owes us $5,000. Well, I didn't go after it because I talked to him, and he didn't have a permit anymore. So to ask him for $5,000 for a dry hydrant seemed to be out of line. If he ever, it's written in his permit that if he ever does develop it, he has to contribute. So talking to Chief Goyette, the study's already been done on that hydrant by Troy Dare from the Vermont Rural Fire Protection Task Force, and it was feasible. The other one I talked to Chief Goyette about is one at Grady Bridge, Full Bridge. That's one of the furthest points on the east side of the lake that we're going to get away from a hydrant, a pressurized hydrant. The last one on Route 30 is up by the Fellowship Bible Church. So in the middle of the winter, getting through ice and expediting getting water can be a challenge. So on this side of the lake, what I've asked Chief Goyette to support, and he acknowledged it, was one at Prospect Point and one at Grady Bridge. They've upped the grant amount from $5,000 to $10,000 per project. We are eligible to apply for how many we think that we want. Doesn't mean we're going to get them all, but we can apply. So I just wanted to bring this to the board's attention as I get more information. I talked to Troy Dare. He needs the application, and then he'll come down and do a study on Grady Bridge to see if it's feasible to put one there. And if not, then we'll look at an alternate site. But that was for the east side of the lake. And then eventually we've got other places in town up on East Hubbardton Road that doesn't have any kind of suppression up there. Close by, and then further up on the west side of the lake. So for right now, I just want to bring it to your attention. I'm not looking for anything at this point for approval. I'll get you some numbers as far as what it would cost the town a share of these grants. But I just want to bring to your attention, if you have any concerns, that I could go back and talk to Chief Goyette, and then also talk to Troy Dare if there's something that you guys wanted to know or wanted some more information on. But it's online. If you were to go online, you can find it, the whole program, if you want to look through it. But it will help with people's insurances through ISO. I'll say technically it should. When they apply for like homeowners insurance, they'll ask where their closest hydrant is to their home. Does the town have a hydrant system, those type of things. So it potentially can help a homeowner, especially those that are in the more rural settings. And even if it didn't, even if it didn't help their insurance, if there is a water source that we can draw from, for the fire department can draw from, to help combat something bad going on at their house, that's a good thing. So if you have any questions, I'll take those, and I can go ask.
Yeah, I have a question. I noticed that they asked for a $100 donation. Would that put us in better shape as far as possibly receiving some grant money?
We recently, the board approved that $100 payment to them, so we already made that payment.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Mike, it might be helpful to perhaps members of the board, but certainly for people watching this on PEGTV, to explain what a dry hydrant is, because for some people that might not make sense to them.
Well, it's, so a normal fire hydrant that you see in the town is pressurized. So there's water, pressurized water down under the pipes in the ground. So when that hydrant's opened, that pressure is going to push the water up through to the hydrant. Under dry hydrant conditions, it's in a water source. Underwater, there's a pipe, and then you have a pipe that runs up above the ground that you hook to, and they call it drafting. So you hook the engine to the dry hydrant, and you get a draft, which water will feed up into the truck, where you can get, so under the ice, it doesn't matter if it's under the ice or not. Where if the old days, if they had to get a draft, they'd have to cut a hole in the ice or find a place where there was open water. This allows it, it's more expedited, as long as it's maintained, and there's money in these grants to actually maintain them. So it's just a difference between whether there's already pressure at it or you're drafting off a source that doesn't have pressure to it.
And we have a really nice source of water in this town.
Yes,
Any other questions for Mike?
Well, I guess I would just assume that these are your top two priorities as well as the chief's?
And so I confirmed with the chief to make sure that, because we had talked about this a year ago, and he said those are the two places that he would like right now.
Anything else? Okay, move on to the sale of town property. This is yours, Mike.
I gave it to you guys last meeting to look at and make comments, changes, whatever you would like, but we are facing a point where we have several pieces of town property that could be sold rather than sitting and rotting into the ground, such as the old Impala police cruiser. It is not inspectable. Our mechanic said the frame is rotted and it won't pass inspection, so we'd have to make sure we follow correct procedures so people don't buy it and then try to get it inspected or registered and then have the thing break apart on them and be in an accident or whatever. We have the old dump box for the green Ford dump truck that's just sitting up at the highway garage. It's worth money because it's not rotting right. It's in good shape. And then there's the tree warden wants to get rid of a ladder, apple tree ladder, and there's an old 35-foot Bangalore ladder behind the fire station that didn't pass safety inspection, but it can be sold as scrap. But those are things that have monetary value. That's, it's kind of not, it's more than $50 kind of thing. And then anything else that comes up along the way. I just wanted to make sure that the policy was written and understood so that all department heads are aware of it and we don't have anybody trying to get rid of something that they should not be trying to get rid of.
Any other questions for Mike?
Just a question for you, Mr. Chairman. Are we going to act on this tonight? Or is this a policy of the managers?
No, I think this is for the select board to approve,
Yep.
and it's not, we're not in a big hurry, so I know you weren't here last meeting, Joe,
Right.
so if it had to wait to next meeting, it's not gonna cause any problems. But now that everyone has it. But
Has everyone had a chance to read this? And
I have.
Yeah, everybody? Well, is there any reason we shouldn't act on it then?
I would offer a couple of very small suggestions. They're more on the way of editorial. I think in the purpose paragraph, that last sentence is unnecessary. Doesn't really address the purpose.
Okay.
And on the second page, in the found items section, I think there's a little grammatical problem. It goes on to say, so they can be processed to see it has been reported as stolen. I think what you intend to say there is if it/they have been reported as stolen. And with those changes, I'm fine with this.
It's at the top of the second page, is that what you're saying, Joe?
Yeah, second line,
Yeah.
second page. To see if it/they have been reported as stolen, or has been reported as stolen.
Okay, any other suggestions, corrections? If not, we have a motion on it with the changes.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Managers report.
Oh,
Action needed?
end of the bottom of the first page, just ask for your guidance on whether to dispose of waste. And then this is about the glass, and I spoke to Mark Shea from Rutland County Solid Waste District this morning about this. We still haven't got an answer back on about the removal of paper and how small it can be, has to be crushed down so that we can use it as aggregate or fill in roadways. What I did, I guess, get it for an answer as the machines are expensive to remove the paper. And there is a market, I guess, he said, in Canada and I believe he said Connecticut, for this glass. But right now, everybody that brings in recycling is in the same boat, that there is no commodity value in glass right now. So whatever we if we were to take glass and not be able to crush it anymore, and we had to bring it to recycling, throw it in with cardboard, paper, plastics up and down a little bit, we're just not getting any money on the commodity side. It's more in processing fees than we get for commodity fee. So the other option is to dispose of it as waste with our bulky and demo, which would go against recycling if you want to, somebody wanted to challenge that. But we're getting charged $68.95 a ton for bulky demo stuff. So, you figure a container, a roll-off container of glass, if say it weighed a ton, 2,000 pounds, we'd be paying a little less than $140, right? No, $150 a ton to get rid of it, versus what it would cost us in processing fees to get rid of it. It would be more. So it's something to think about. We're not in a pickle right now because I haven't got an answer back from Rutland County Solid Waste, because the state wrote us up on this and they allowed the time for Rutland County Solid Waste to help us come up with a solution, but the time's going to be ticking because it's been months. And if they see nothing's happening on it, then we may be forced into something that we can't crush it anymore. And now we're at a point where the glass crusher needs repair, and we have an employee stand there and crush that glass, move the stuff, and when the amount of money and time we're putting into it, we're not getting anything out of it. So if it could be gotten rid of other ways, and we don't have to crush it, we don't have to repair the crusher, we don't have to have separate transport, that's an option. But I just want to let you guys know what's going on with it. And if it's not something you want to tackle right now, I understand that, but it has to be addressed sooner or later.
Well, just for the benefit of everyone on PEGTV, what we do now, and correct me if I'm wrong, is we crush it and then we pile it up back in the gravel pit.
That is correct.
And it does nothing, it just sits there because we can't use it for road fill anymore.
No, we can. We
can.
We have in the past until recently where they said it's not being crushed small enough and it's got paper in it.
But,
So-
I mean, up now, we can't use it for road fill. We have in the past, but we can't anymore. So it's just accumulating.
Okay, other comments, questions? Joe?
Who makes the determination about what's acceptable for road fill?
It's the federal government is the one that directs these, because it's considered a commodity, and it can be sold and be used as in commercial applications. So that's when the state came in and said, tisk tisk, it's not small enough, too much paper on it, cease and desist. And I actually enlisted the help of Rutland County Solid Waste. I had Jim O'Gorman come over, Dean Wilson come over. There is no cheap answer. So if we're looking for the cheap solution, we're probably not going to find it, because they did invest in a glass paper remover over in Rutland, and they're saying theirs is too small, but it's really expensive too. So, but it is not Rutland County Solid Waste making the determination of how small it has to be or how much percentage of paper can be in it.
Okay, any other questions on this?
Well, it sounds like this may ultimately impact the fee structure for the transfer station. What's the point at which we would anticipate adjusting those to account for whatever this is going to cost us?
Well, I've sat down now and Bob wanted to know what it costs to get rid of a ton of trash. We've come up with some preliminary numbers. Taking the glass into account, it would push it up even higher.
Mm-hmm.
We come up with about $183. $187.52 to get rid of a ton of trash. That's counting our whole operating budget.
Mhm.
And we're charging $150 per ton when we receive it. So right from the get-go, we can say that we're in the red
Right.
on,
We lost 40-something thousand dollars last year, just on the expense side.
what's happening is we've underestimated on recyclables on our annual budget, but we've overestimated how much we're gonna get, and then on that, and then on like permits, we underestimate. We say we're gonna get 50, we get 58. We say we're gonna get 127 in recycling, we get 97. So with the price of these commodities fluctuating up and down, it is a moving target. We've got 5 years of data we're using to try to somewhere get in the ballpark. The savior's been that at the end of the year, we underutilize our operating budget. So anything that was a negative over under revenue, we've made up by not using it.
Was your question when?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think I'm probably not alone in saying I would hope that this, that the transfer station would be a revenue neutral operation, and that you would recommend some adjustments in fees at some appropriate point, probably sooner rather than later if we're already operating in the red. I also, though, agree with your final point here, which is that there is embedded a public relations issue. And I think at the point at which we change our practices with respect to glass, we need to have good answers. We need to have clear information about, what it's costing us to do it the present way as opposed to the way we intend to do it.
The usual time for that change is July 1.
Yeah.
That's the usual time,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and so that's been, when we look at that, like, we're ways off from recommending changes to the fee structure. There are some complaints right now at the transfer station, so there are things to address, Joe, that are outside of glass. So there's work to do here. It's whether the board wants to do anything prior to the fee structure changes and just make it amendments now, or do you want to wait and go to the full-blown fee schedule? Because right now, we're still stockpiling glass. We're not bringing it anywhere because we haven't got the official answer. So we haven't incurred the extra cost of transporting the glass at this point. And I can't tell you definitively when that's going to come.
Did I understand correctly, in that it would cost less to throw the glass in with the bulky at $68.95 a ton as opposed to, okay?
So
Why not
that's-
bite the bullet now? We gotta do something
Can
soon
I ask
anyway.
a question here, Jim?
Sure.
So it's 68.90 a ton plus the surcharge to our CSW?
Correct.
Okay,
it's-
so-
So it's $88 or $89 a ton
Yeah.
in round numbers.
Right.
Approximately how much weight in glass a month? I mean, just an educated guess would be great.
We're figuring around a ton a month, but Chris has actually been weighing every single bucket that we've been gathering, so I can get you solid numbers before the next meeting, if that's what you want.
I'm kind of heading the same kind of direction that Zach is here. How much, so that's $100 a month maybe at the most?
No, if it's a ton, you're talking 68 plus the 20, so
Call
98,
it 90.
$90 a month?
No, 88.
88, not
Right
90
up to
bucks.
90.
Yeah, I'm just thinking round numbers here. How much labor do we spend a month crushing it?
Over $90.
We gotta just toss it in bulky.
I realize that there's a PR thing in here, but I think most of our quote customers don't realize that we don't actually recycle it anyways. I mean, it feels good to throw it in the barrel. And, for quite a few years, I used to throw it in the barrel assuming it went off to someplace in the sky and got melted and returned into some other glass container, and then I found out it didn't happen.
Well,
But then I found out
at some
we're
point it
using-
did.
I
but
think
not
this
anymore.
sweater was made of your old bottles, Dick.
No, I
That's
mean,
probably true.
not in Castleton.
I know.
We've been picking them up and using
Heavy
them.
wine bottles.
So, I think in this time, as long as the public is aware and they understand, it's more cost effective to just throw them in the bulky, that we ought to consider doing that.
And maybe reset the fee structure now to go into it. Well, wouldn't really matter whether we do it now or whether we do it in May or June, because the changes would go into effect until July 1 anyway, correct?
That's up to you guys how you want to do things, but
I'd be curious how you come up with 187, because in the last month you said it was 137.
Yes,
Now-
but once we figured the whole operating budget in there, we went through those numbers, and that's where it came out.
So you have all those numbers?
I've got, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen them.
Oh,
We just sat down and did
Well, you
it.
can just make a copy of it for me.
No, we'll formalize it so it's in
Yeah.
more readable.
I desperately want to see those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to handle that at the next meeting, or what do you want to do?
If you want me to pull those numbers to show you what it costs to get rid of it as a commodity versus as a, and bulky, how many hours we spend crushing it, so you have that data in front of you, I can certainly pull that together.
I think I've heard enough.
I think that's more work than it's worth for $90 a month.
Right.
Yeah.
So if someone would like to make a motion, we can do that too.
Okay, so we're gonna make the motion to start throwing the glass in bulky, which is, fine and good, but now how do we recoup those costs from now until fiscal year end?
Probably won't. What do you have about, at the most you have 5 months?
Yeah.
5 months, was it $500?
5 months at $90, or
$90 or $100 a month,
$450.
$500?
I can tell you with 100% certainty, we have the flexibility in the transfer station budget to handle that.
Okay.
Well then, we'll eat it for 5 months and then,
So, does someone wish to make a motion on that?
yeah, I'll make a motion, we instruct the transfer station heads to start throwing glass in bulky.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion?
Actually, we should be telling the town manager to do that.
Yes, yeah, that's where it should go, to the manager.
We don't direct the
We don't.
transfer
Okay.
station employees,
Okay,
we
then
direct
I'll,
the town
then
manager.
I'll amend my motion to instruct the town manager to have glass thrown in with the bulky.
Thrown or deposited? You could do
I
either
don't-
one, Zach, whatever you say.
Just make sure it
It
goes
gets
in with
there.
the bulk.
Deposited
Just
would
make
be
sure-
safer.
Okay,
Yeah,
Exactly.
right, effective right now.
right.
My recommendation would be to leave the barrels there and then just dump them in there when they need to empty them.
Okay, if there's no other discussion on it, all those in favor?
Aye.
Takes care of that one.
Great, thank you.
You all set now?
I think I'm all set.
Turn the page over, there we go.
Yes, the policy, maybe that was a leftover. I think that's leftover, sorry. You guys already addressed that one. I think that's it for the end. Take that back. Number 5, wastewater treatment facility. So I will need to schedule a sewer commission meeting. I'm hoping you guys will agree to 6:30 on the 10th of February. No, I'm
okay
sorry,
with that.
hold on. Okay, no, chance to review the material, I've got, maybe it's 2:24, because Wayne can't make it on the 10th. So to hold a sewer commission meeting at 6:30 on 2/24 to discuss what some of these upgrades are and the costs associated with it.
Okay, any problems with that?
I won't be here, but
I don't believe so.
That's fine.
That's right,
Need
you're
to
gonna
be.
be away, okay.
you
Any
guys are
others?
pretty smart, I think you can figure it out.
Okay. What else, Mike?
No, and I don't know if you guys have any questions about the salt, and I put action needed none, but we are down to about 450 tons of salt. I authorized them to buy the remaining 200 because the board authorized 1,000. We only had 800 delivered, so they're getting the other 200. Most of it's here already.
So we should have 650 now?
No, that's counting the net count. So I authorized Paul to order the 200, so now we have 450 on hand.
Oh, 450, okay.
Yeah.
With the,
So-
and how many tons do we go through at an average storm?
I don't know what the pounds are.
Oh,
A truck and a half full, and I forgot how many yards, or it depends on which truck it is anyway, but, what we can go back and say, we started with, 1,000, because we bought 800, we had 200, and plus, and we just got 200, we're down to 450. So we've eaten through a lot of material,
Been a hard
since December or November. So there's likely that it's not gonna last throughout the winter. But we're keeping a close eye on it. I'll come back to the board, if we get to that point where we need to order it.
How's our sand pile doing, gonna make it?
Sand, we're probably gonna make it, but we're gonna have pebbles left at the end. They did purchase the 3/4 inch stone and mix with that poor quality sand that we had, so hopefully that will stretch it a little bit farther as well.
Okay,
That's all I have.
When was that policy updated and presented to us?
Which was that?
On the transfer station? I assume that's in
Was it
regards to the
you guys
house?
agreed to the changes on it? I don't remember.
That was, I guess I never saw it in front of me.
Oh, that was to change it to the one time per year. They don't need to give their customers names, they just need to give the number of.
Oh, I read that. That was in your manager's report.
That's what it was.
Okay, so it wasn't a piece of paper, okay.
that it, Mike?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Select board comments or concerns?
That?
No? Dick?
Just
this
one, make sure I get this right, Mike, help me out if I mess it up. The Castleton's economic development and community revitalization and economic development.
Community Development Economic Revitalization Advisory Committee.
Okay, we had our organizational meeting, Mark Brown is chair, Ted Molinar is vice chair, Jennifer Jones will be parliamentarian. We're going to meet again on the 14th, hopefully with representatives from both Riddick and Rutland County Planning Commission.
I think, you say the 14th, I think yours meant the 13th.
13th, excuse me, I'm sorry, the Thursday. And we're going to try to start establishing goals and what we hope to accomplish and means to do that.
Okay, got it.
That's all I got. Questions?
Bob?
Whatever happened to the time clock for the town office? You said last March Karen was working on getting one, and then you have to see it.
No, I haven't yet. No, I haven't. I'm not concerned about it. If you guys are directing me to do it, until you direct me, I'm not gonna do it, basically. Because
And why
I'm
is
here
that?
every day, so I see what goes on. And I think it seems to be more of a personal thing. I'll just say that. Because no one else seems to have a problem with it. And I'm here, I see what goes on, and I don't think there's a need for a time clock here.
This whole board agreed to make the departments transparent, Mike. And that was one of the things that we,
Nobody directed me, Bob, to do it. So if you're directing me, great, I'll do it.
I just want to know why you feel that way. I mean, you don't see the departments being transparent? To make them more transparent?
But I'm here, I see every day, I'm not there at the highway garage, I'm not at the sewer plant, I'm not anywhere else. So, there's only one union employee here. So if it's a union thing, I'm putting it in for one union employee. That's not anybody else.
Anything else, Bob?
Yeah, what about the scrap guardrails that are down on the Rice Willis Road? They've been there for quite a few months.
Didn't know they were there.
Can we get them picked up,
Yep, sure can.
put in our scrap pile up to the transfer station?
I can do that.
Scrap price is up a little bit from what it was, so,
It is.
yeah.
We're gonna start separating, I think, the tin and the metal again, because it's so, steel is worth so much more than tin. It sounded great in the beginning, but we're gonna make more money if we separate it.
Do you have enough of each to do that?
Yeah, we
Do ya?
generate, yeah, but, I mean, before we consolidated, we were separating it, and we did it, and that's when El Nicky was picking it up. But it may take longer to fill the can bin, but,
So your tin cans are going in the bin, they're not going in the recycling?
correct.
Perfect.
Okay.
What about the water issue up?
I'm sorry, oh, no, maybe I misheard what you said, my new hearing,
The tin cans,
yeah.
are they going in the metal bin, or are they still going in the recycling?
Right now, they're in the metal bin.
This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of paying $113 a ton to get rid of them,
Yeah.
when we can get paid for them.
Right.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
okay.
But even if we separate them, they're still gonna go for metal, not recycling.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah, do whatever, as long as they go for metal and don't have to pay to get rid of them.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's.
Okay. Whatever came of the water issue up in Little Rutland Road where our culvert going underneath the Little Rutland Road was shooting out onto the, did anything ever come of that?
FEMA came in, and I asked them to include that on the April 15th storm, which they did. So right now, we're dealing with FEMA, we're dealing with Belgo Road, East Harbor Road, Birdseye, as a one project, and then it's gonna be South Street and then Little Rutland. So they're taking, no, I'm taking it back, hold on. They did include Little Rutland on the last one, so we're gonna get some money to fix that through.
Okay.
Our portion of it, whatever is deemed, appropriate, they accepted it as a project, so.
So there's money coming for that.
Yeah, I don't know what the number is until they
Okay.
assess it, but,
So it's still in the works.
yep.
Okay.
Did you get a concern, anybody concerned about it or no?
No, just some of the stuff that we don't follow up on. It seems like to me, like, should maybe come in brief recaps and I just from follow up. It just stuff that we deal with 6 months ago and then we don't hear another word about it.
Yep.
That's all.
Okay, that it, Bob?
Yeah, that's it.
Joe?
I guess I just wanted to remind you that we didn't have a meeting with the fire district that I think was scheduled. And I'm, at least, hoping that we will have that meeting soon.
We actually talked to Chris Cressy, I saw him in person, he's out of captivity, and he knows what he needs to now come in and talk to you about. So I've been dealing with Chris and Jonas, with the state and everything that's going on with the source protection area. So once Jonas gives me the green light that they've talked to the appropriate folks at the state about because they talked to ag, they need to talk to the water folks. Once that's all set, then we'll get him before the select board. He has no problem with us coming in.
Great.
Originally, he didn't want to, but he's going to.
Okay, anything else?
That's it for me.
All right. Move on to warrants for approval.
Jim, did you see there was an extra
Yep.
something in there? Okay.
Tire chains?
No.
Oh, the other one, yeah, we got that. Yep,
The
yeah. This one?
the fee for franchise tax?
Yeah,
Yep.
franchise check, yeah.
We'll make a motion, we approve warrant number 0127R for $300,000, no cents, $300,000 and no cents. Warrant number 0127 for $67,223.91. Warrant 0123 for $6,181.10. Warrant 0116 for $29,729.88. Warrant 0123P for $16,565.34. And warrant number 0116P for $15,972.72.
There's a second? Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're doing that last one separately.
Yeah, do the two,
Franchise tax.
do the two. Well, we've got to do two of them here, one on chains, and one on the on the
Wasn't that a
franchise.
warrant, or was it a purchase?
This one and this one.
Oh,
I think it's a
okay.
purchase order.
Yep.
I'll make a motion, we approve warrant number 0124P for $678.15 and warrant number 0117P for $678.15.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Recusal?
He recused. Got that, okay.
In our mailboxes, thank you.
You all set?
I'll make a motion, we approve purchase order number 044609 to T-Beltwell Logging Incorporated for 16 sets of tire chains at $3,784.48.
Second.
Motion to second. If you look at the back of that, there are three request for quotes, and this is the low quote. Right on the back of that.
Yeah, I saw it.
You got it? Okay.
It was in my packet too, I looked through it already.
Can we state what they're for? I mean, they're tire change, but I mean, we don't have 16 trucks, so I just wondered, can you
Well, they're
clarify?
individual chains, so they're not sets, not 16 sets.
Oh, I
of
used the
chains.
wrong word.
I didn't hear, I honestly, I have my ear,
I did say 16 sets.
16 chains.
So that 12 should be 6, actually, it'd be six sets.
They're not sets.
Okay.
Should be 4 sets.
Well, you got 4 on the first one, so, for the tandem, so you're gonna,
Yeah, so
end up putting on the rear
Okay,
wheels of that.
okay. So
So
there'd be
4
6.
chains will go on 4 tires.
Okay.
So this does 16 tires.
Yeah, there you
Some
go.
have more, okay.
One
Whatever,
pair
some-
on each tire.
How many tires on this team? So there's 4, 8, 10.
Usually a pair is 2, Zach.
Right.
And their single axle trucks have tires on both sides.
Right.
One pair here, one set here and one set here. And set's not the right word either.
No,
It's-
it's not.
It's chain. So
It's
there's,
a
on
chain,
on a
individual
tandem,
pair.
there's
chain.
4
Yeah.
tires in the back of a tandem truck.
Yeah.
On a single axle, there's only 2.
Yeah, it's one axle. You get a pair of chains for one axle.
Heavy-duty math, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a pair of pants, you know, let's argue that one too, right?
You buy them by the legs. I'm gonna buy my pair.
And I think they only go over one tire, they don't go over both tires.
No, they don't.
Right.
Oh, they know.
No,
Oh, that's where I was wrong. I
Okay.
thought they were going out
Oh,
on all
no.
the tires.
no.
You a fresh air kid?
Must be.
He's getting stagnant air somewhere along the
You
line.
ever called the question? I don't think you did.
No, I haven't. All those in favor of purchase order
Just wanted to clarify that.
609?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
I think you're all set with the warrants, Bob.
6. I got 6. You got 2.
I'll agree to the tire chains too. Otherwise- You guys had another one, but I don't
We
have
have
one.
another warrant for excise tax. So I'm gonna make a motion that we approve warrant number 0128 for $1,459.37 for the State Department of Taxes for excise tax.
Second.
Motion and second.
That's
All
trash.
those-
That is?
That's the franchise tax.
Oh, okay.
All those in
Franchise
favor?
tax. I used the wrong
Aye.
word, sorry.
Say aye. Okay, motion passes.
Can you repeat the number on that
Yep.
Yes, 0128,
in the amount of,
$1,459.37.
That covers a year, or is that what it?
No, those aren't yearly, I think they're quarterly.
Put that back on top of that one if you want.
I don't know if we've ever done this before, have we?
Oh, that's going around.
You're gonna sign it last.
Yep.
We have?
I don't
I don't
think I
wanna screw
have.
you up, how'd I do?
Great.
Because maybe it's because of the amount.
They charge us $7 a ton, I think, for every ton that goes out.
Out.
Well,
Out of state?
not necessarily out of state. You have to pay the $7 regardless of where it goes, I think. So it's not just 20, it's 27.
As much as by getting the glass out of the bags, we reduce weight.
So really, you are looking at $100
If you count the
Pretty much, yeah.
as opposed to
But that's gonna get paid no matter what.
much. Yeah.
I was told it was
I guess I should have
113.
put my glasses on. I signed for you, Jim.
That's fine.
Because you didn't sign it yet.
That's okay.
Bob, you were told it was how
I'll
much
hear about it, I'll hear about it
it
tomorrow.
cost to get rid of OSW.
Mike said it costed $137 a ton to get rid of it.
Did I sign in the right spot?
That was a while ago.
Yeah,
You did.
That number you said tonight was a different, that's a new number.
This is a more comprehensive list of what our actual, I mean, it takes into account labor and it takes into
It
account.
needs to.
Well, that's what we didn't figure is they got the water, the potable water, they have to have the porta potties, the whole lot.
Just the nitty gritty stuff.
Which is part of the cost.
Well, if you're gonna try to make it cost neutral, you gotta count it.
Right.
Absolutely. All your expenses.
Okay, brief recap, items for follow-up, are there any?
Guardrails and race walls, I got. Add in Fairhaven, the chief's gotta add in that Fairhaven support, the backup to Castleton PD, make corrections to the online version of the minutes, and the changes that Joe had recommended for the sale of town property I've got so far.
Okay, is that it? Any need for an executive session, Mike?
I said no earlier, Jim, but I think that it's prudent for personnel.
Okay,
I'll make a motion, we enter into executive session for personnel with the board and the town manager at 8:07.
motion to second, all those in favor?
Aye.
We're in executive session.